After being transported here, he discovered that the characters he used to control were actually real people of flesh and blood. They too were unintentionally brought into this game. And if a player happens to die in here, they will truly disappear without a trace in the real world. In a place where death always lurks, Han Islat must accumulate experience through battles. To quickly overcome the 100 tower floors, above all, he must also be extremely cautious about his teammates because some of them might stab him in the back at any moment. But Han Islat didn't expect that there was someone calling themselves a master, also controlling this game. To be able to get new characters, he has to try to please the one called Master so that he will top up money into the game. Anyway, no more rambling, let's get into the main content together. The story begins with a gloomy scene. Everyone in the group introduces themselves one by one. My name is Manga occupation mercenary. Do you guys know where the hell we are? Next is a middle-aged old man. He pondered for a moment, then replied. Anyway, among them, his experience must surely be greater, not lesser. I am Lai, owner of a carpentry workshop in Idora. As for where this is, I'm sorry, I don't know either. Nevertheless, it can be seen that he is not very familiar with the terrain and the current situation, and like everyone else, is a beginner. If that's the case, then him, a shy guy, certainly can't provide any useful information. Read employee of the Hanzi antique shop. I don't know where we are either. Then the local residents also introduce their identities one by one. My name is Jenna, a forest dweller. I don't know what just happened either. And finally, Han Islat, occupation farmer, and me too, I have no information at all. In short, no matter their identity, they are all completely unfamiliar with the current situation. They become increasingly confused. So you mean all 11 people don't know why they are here? Where is this? Is this a dream? It's harvest season right now. And like many typical beginnings, these simple, honest atheists cry out and lament. One person voices their silly speculation. Could it be that we were thrown here by a mage? Maybe to turn us into experimental guinea pigs? So he gets scolded harshly by the man. Don't talk such nonsense. He continued, the only certain thing right now is that we are all newcomers. We might find more clues if we continue communicating like this. While they were confused, what are you all rambling about? Master is preparing to open the space-time rift, so prepare for battle. As soon as she entered, she announced shocking news that left everyone bewildered, but that was only partly due to her tiny, elf-like figure, reminiscent of ancient legends. The only thing proving this was real was the radiant halo surrounding her, along with her unmistakably lively and playful demeanor. The man asked suspiciously, and you are? She replied friendly like an intelligent auto-reply tool. Call me Ezel, a fairy tasked with managing this place. Please follow the rules of the game if you don't want to get hurt. He questioned hatefully, are you the one who brought us here? Why do you need to know? She asked back. Thus, the reputation of a brutal mercenary who doesn't value life emerged. He drew the sharp sword he always carried, threatening. Can you still be so calm right after kidnapping someone like that? I'll force you to spill everything you know. She sighed sharply, merely seeing him as a reckless young horse. Please stop if you still want to live. Looking at the difference in their body sizes and hearing her well-intentioned reminder again, who wouldn't laugh out loud at that arrogance? He exuded intense pressure disdainfully. A tiny creature like you has quite a sharp tongue. She smirked. Ha, why do you always have to complicate things? I'll fix that attitude of yours. He was already in a stance, ready to strike. But before anything, his face distorted, grimacing unsightly. Legs went one way, head went the other, dying unexpectedly. Or to put it elegantly. Legs went one way, head went the other, dying unexpectedly. Or to put it elegantly. Star Manga has returned to the goddess's embrace. His battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. Cause of death, suicide due to stress. The remaining people were terrified by the tragic state of that hot-tempered man. No one was in the mood to care about the eulogy given by the creature of unknown species. Meanwhile, she continued to warn. Didn't I warn you to stop if you wanted to keep living? If you had just listened to me, this regrettable incident wouldn't have happened. Anyone among you who still intends to attack me should prepare to return to Mother Earth. That's self-defense, understand. After a few seconds of shock, they screamed in astonishment. Those with weak minds might have already taken half a step into madness. What is this? He's dead. Is he really dead? What did you do? Whatever you want, just say it, as long as they obey. Knowing they took him as an example, she was ready to answer all questions. What I want. Listen carefully to my command, fight. Well, then win. That's all. Simple, isn't it? Right at this moment, the strange voice rang out again with an announcement, setting up formation matching teams for the heroes. 1-star Lai has joined party 1. 1-star Lanto has joined party 1. 1-star Marilyn has joined party 1. 1-star Kekwa has joined party 1. 1-star Jackson has joined party 1. She looked up excitedly at the notification screen as if it were the place where the supreme god resided. Finally, Master has started the game. Then an announcement was made to the players, everyone get ready. The space-time rift opened. A huge door appeared. From the center of the ancient pattern, a mysterious beam of light radiated and gradually spread. Just like its name, a rift. With the scapegoat just now no one could look down on this little girl in front of them. Her words were sacred decrees. Lai Lanto Marine, Kekwa Jackson. See that door, go into it if you don't want to end up like Manga. Suddenly wait, making her furious. You again. What else do you want? He started negotiating. Surely you still want us to climb the tower. The game master should at least summon weapons too. With all of us being 1-star empty-handed, you wouldn't want to send a suicide squad in there. Jenna beside him heard this and was extremely puzzled. Again, tower. What are they talking about? Meanwhile, he continued, a valuable 2-star hero just died. Couldn't you at least give us some equipment for self-defense? As soon as he finished speaking, Manga's preliminary information panel appeared just then. Level 1, EXP 010, Occupation, Novice Mercenary, Strength, 1414, Intelligence 1010, Vitality 1212, Agility 1212, Skills, Basic, Swordsmanship, Level 1. So she was moved, it makes sense. Then seriously reported to her superior to claim benefits for her novices. Master, the heroes currently don't have any equipment. Could you give them some equipment to fight better? Soon the other side responded. Tip heroes without equipment participating in battle will be equipped with an old wooden sword by default. If you put weapons in the armory, the heroes will be equipped with those weapons. Don't forget you can request weapon registration yourself. So she didn't hesitate to spend money. Master preparing to perform a 10x summon. X summon. $50,000 gold. Water received iron sword E+. Water received crude bow E. Water received wooden staff D+. While she was busy as hell, those with a bit of intelligence immediately understood he couldn't be completely clueless. Therefore, the old man cautiously approached, striking up a conversation. You said your name is Han, right? Do you know anything about this place? He replied tactfully. Not much more than everyone else, because I haven't been here very long. The answer just given increased Jenna's suspicion. Not long. Could this guy? Let's consider this matter temporarily past. He pointed in one direction, kindly reminding. The only thing I know is that being slow means death. It's best to start collecting weapons at the house over there. It's about to start. They continued to wonder. Start, hey, what do you mean? He replied briefly. The battle, making them confused and lost. Battle. Did you just say battle? Immediately they quickly ran to get weapons as he suggested. I'm completely blind when it comes to fighting. Even as a child, I didn't know how to fight. Let's just get the weapons first and figure it out later. And a small scuffle broke out over a dispute. I took it first. This is mine. In the end, everyone equipped themselves with weapons. But as soon as they stepped out, the large corpse was nowhere to be seen. On the ground, where it was only a pool of dried blood remained. What? The body disappeared. Was it magic? She impatiently urged. Shut up. Now then the 5 of you step through the door. Start. The old man stepped forward, trying to reach in. Immediately pulled back due to the abundant electricity around. What the hell is this? She got angry. Stop messing around and get in there for me. Therefore they couldn't help but enter. One by one catastrophic screams rang out. Meanwhile she stomped her foot in place, observing him. The person who seems to have a certain understanding of this place, unlike those naive novices. Impossible. He's examining a shield right in the middle of this chaos. Should I follow suit? Honestly, this shield is just like any other crude equipment. It's just a crude shield E+, that's all. She couldn't help asking, you know what's going to happen next, right? Why do we need weapons? Where are we? And what about that little fairy? But information isn't that easy to come by. He answered briefly. You really do have a lot to ask. But for now, just charge into battle and kill all enemies. As for the rest, you have to find the answers yourself. Suddenly, 1-star Marilyn has returned to the goddess's embrace. His battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. He couldn't help but utter the affectionate words, damn it. What's wrong, she wondered. Immediately after announcements rang out, 1-star Kekwa has returned to the goddess's embrace. His battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. 1-star Lanto has returned to the goddess's embrace. His battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. 1-star Jackson has returned to the goddess's embrace. His battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. He asked heaven and earth wearily, is this why they are only 1 star? She became increasingly curious. What's wrong? Did something just happen? So he granted permission. Silence. Not long after the announcement rang out again, ending the journey of the unlucky ones. 1-star Lai has returned to the goddess's embrace. His battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. Party 1 has been wiped out. He pondered. Wiped out that fast. As for Isel, she was extremely angry, her hair tousled messily. Useless beasts, only the first floor and the whole bunch died. Because of that swift failure, a new formation announcement quickly appeared, setting up formation matching teams for the heroes. 1-star, Han. 1-star Lanto. 1-star Marilyn, 1-star Kekwa. 1-star Jackson have joined Team 1. Ysel was so angry, she panted heavily, just wanting to send them off quickly to get them out of her sight. The rest of you, go to battle. It's our turn. He repeated the announcement. Jenna was full of suspicion. Why haven't any of the people who went before returned yet? Suddenly, oh fairy, I have osteoarthritis so I can't walk much. Please can you remove me from the team? Hearing this strange illness made her unable to resist wondering, osteoarthritis. But you were walking normally just now, weren't you? He made excuses. It just flared up again. Isel held her head annoyed. Seriously, these idiots. She quickly pulled the old man along. Just go, we'll try to fight and survive together. The old man panicked and yelled, I told you I have osteoarthritis. Ysel angrily shouted, too noisy, shut up and get ready. The others immediately followed. It's just that they had too many doubts. What does she want us to prepare for? This wasn't something Reed should worry about right now. He worriedly complained, I've never even held a spear before, while Han led the formation forward. Until they stepped through the door, she excitedly wished them well. Good luck, everyone, while the old man who failed to fake illness kept making excuses. I think my stomach hurts. Let me go, please. They looked around. Where is this? A temple. The group speculated based on the surrounding architecture while the old man was completely stunned. No other way they had to approach the temple gate. What's written up here, the closer they got, the clearer the words became. At this time, the announcement rang out, Main Dungeon. Your current challenge floor is floor 1. Climb the Salvation Tower. Main Dungeon, current floor 0. Doors opening. Please prepare. The announcement just ended. He simultaneously shouted seriously, Don't lose focus, it's starting. The light became increasingly dazzling. The desolate landscape devoid of trees or human figures made it seem as if they were the only creatures existing here. They were exposed on all sides and thought so. Someone in the team asked doubtfully, Where is this place? Han pulled this person's focus back. What are you thinking? We're on the battlefield. The announcement appeared again. Floor 1, mission type subjugation, target, eliminate all enemies, along with the bloodthirsty goblins approaching. A drop of worried sweat rolled down his cheek. He warned, I told you before, fight to live or die, so lift your heads and... But they had already run off helter-skelter. So because of his teammates, he once again had to exclaim, Damn it. Seeing the sight of the lame man running, Isel shouted in astonishment, Hey old man, I thought you said you had osteoarthritis. And the announcement rang out. 1 star. Jenna is panicked. All stats reduced by 30%. He shouted back, I just got better. Followed by a series of similar announcements. 1 star Dejin is panicked. All stats reduced by 30%. 1 star Reed is panicked. All stats reduced by 30%. 1 star Gyu is panicked. All stats reduced by 30%. However, as the door of life approached, they were shocked to realize they were cornering themselves. They crashed into an indefinite void. While she was dumbfounded, the other 3 guys panicked and begged. Things like, Why can't we get out? Or, Oh my back. And especially, Let me out. I need to take a dump. The furious old man pounded and shouted hoarsely, What's with this wall? Get rid of it now. How embarrassing, Han sincerely commented. Suddenly, Han, Can we escape if we defeat all the goblins? Finally, a teammate adapted to the actual situation. He didn't answer, but just asked, Do you know how to use a bow? As introduced at the beginning, isn't this question redundant? My father is a hunter, you know. If so, that's good. He immediately devised a strategy. I'll charge in for a direct attack. You provide covering fire from afar. Can you do it? Having gradually adapted, her wild nature showed clearly. Bring it on. What about them? She asked worriedly. After all, she was still human with humanity and moral limits, but Han was different. If a man doesn't fend for himself, heaven and earth will destroy him. He spoke casually. Don't mind them. They're just useless. The goblins finally attacked. Here they come. They didn't hesitate any longer, charging straight ahead. Although outwardly he seemed to have arranged things well, honestly. I've never swung a sword or used a shield before, he thought. The goblins were still charging. They extended their sharp claws and let out piercing screeches. His eyes were untainted by dust, steadfastly watching the unfortunate goblins charging, and about him. Forget your identity for a minute. My name is Han Islat, but my real name is Han Seojin. And it seems I just got stuck in a damn game, hinking that, but he still cherished his life very much. Thought led to thought. Action followed thought. She and he coordinated to counter the goblins' storm-like attacks. On the other side of the door that led them up the tower, it remained silent. Everything today originated from a game called Pick Me Up. Back then, who would have thought their future lives would be tied to it? Live together live, die, and the player returns to the goddess's embrace. Their battle spirit will be remembered for eternity. So he casually logged into the game every day, waiting a few minutes to log in. Connecting to the server. In short, this is a mobile game published by the studio of the Mobius Corporation. The game's objective is to conquer the 100-floor tower, supporting heroes by creating materials and building bases. In other words, you need to clear the tower using schemes and tactics to conveniently pass floors and beat the game. Thanks to its diverse graphic characters, it attracts a large number of players. As for him, as usual, he diligently grinded rank day and night, only to now be here reminiscing about the past with boundless desire for a magical time machine to restart his life. Just yesterday, I was still living a normal life. And upon logging into the game, I immediately saw the notification, Pick Me Up has reached 100 million downloads. Thanks to the support of masters worldwide, Pick Me Up has surpassed 100 million downloads. A special event will take place. Event information. First, receive 100 gems for logging in from January 27th to February 5th. Chance to receive 1,000 gems. Second, masters logging in will receive 1 premium hero summon. When summoning a premium hero, guaranteed to receive at least a 3-star hero. Third, at the end of the event, a new dungeon with extremely high difficulty will open. Throughout the event, the last point interested him the most for personal reasons. He silently read everything. New dungeon appears. This cheap game finally has a decent event, he honestly evaluated. Because in his thoughts, hero ranks range from 1 to a maximum of 7 stars. I'm an extremely unlucky guy. Even after using thousands of free summons, I've never gotten a hero above 5 stars. Thinking that, combined with the generous event rewards, he decisively chose to participate. The dungeon might drop fate transfer stones at a low rate, the item needed to create a 7-star hero. No reason not to participate. Back to the game. The special point making Pick Me Up different from other character-nurturing games is that it sets difficult rules. No matter how much love and care you give a character, once they die, they are truly dead and cannot be revived, meaning whether it's 1 or 6 stars. When a character dies, it's over. Because of this crucial point, most players prepare a defensive formation to devise the most suitable strategy. He did too. It's mandatory to scout the dungeon first with a disposable team. Thinking led to doing, he habitually proposed a team formation. At the same time, the screen showed a notification: the new dungeon has opened. However, with the mindset of playing, just to see, he visualized the big boss's tactics and formulated a specific strategy, so he remained very calm. Well, it doesn't matter. I just need to see how the boss fights. Due to his disregard, a status notification appeared. 6-star Diora is worried. He continued observing the match, stunned, asking himself, level 999. What is that A bug? Before he could grasp the situation, the ending notification immediately appeared. You have failed. Therefore, he just assumed this was one of the game's countless bugs. Commenting, clearly a system error. Immediately, a series of humane notifications popped up. 6-star Siora has returned to the goddess's embrace. Her fighting spirit will be remembered forever. 5-star. Nicola has returned to the goddess's embrace. His fighting spirit will be remembered forever. 5-star. Ken has returned to the goddess's embrace. His fighting spirit will be remembered forever. Ignoring these boring notifications, he proceeded with his plan to study the big boss's fighting style to unleash the final move. Moving his hand to the big boss avatar on the screen, he pondered. They got wiped out before I could even see its fighting style. I didn't gain anything. Suddenly, the big boss tilted its head slightly towards him as if it were a living entity, and a deep voice enveloped his mind. Found you. He froze, directly frightened. What was that? Is it another way it attacks? The game should have ended right. What, I can't see anything. Darkness enveloped the surroundings. He was like a blind man groping in the dark. Fumbling through the empty void evoked a strange sense of fear in people. While fear was rising, an announcement rang out, saving his panicked soul. Create new account. He was confused. Account. Next was the announcement with instructions. Choose a name. To 6 letters, no special characters. With 2 options, choose and don't choose. He became increasingly confused. What is this saying? What is this? At this point, light gradually emerged, like a forgotten space, suitable as a refuge for a time traveler. The notification continued its automatic process. Whatever. This name is available. Will you use this name? With 2 options, yes, no. Whatever. Is it trying to write whatever? While he was confused, the notification rang out again. Yes. He was bewildered. I didn't type anything. What is it doing? Did it agree by itself? But despite his frantic doubts, the system calmly continued its work. Whatever. Welcome to the world of Pick Me Up. Play the tutorial. After completion, you will receive a reward. Yes, no. From here, the story of becoming a hero controlled by a master in the game, he grinded day and night, begins with only basic information. A small village in the Hem territory. In this place, there's a boy named Han Islat. What this is. Since when did he have a longsword in his hand? He was in a completely unfamiliar and deadly place. Meanwhile, the announcements regularly rang out. The peaceful land of both humans and non-humans, Tonyea. A mysterious enemy has invaded this peaceful continent. Hey master, if you want to save the world, climb the tower. Countless heroes will be by your side. Familiar dialogue, the deadly citadel. Pitch black eyes were watching him in the darkness. Mysterious creatures were lurking, demanding his life. He cautiously turned his head towards the source of the noise. The tutorial mission quickly appeared. First, defeat the goblins invading the village. He stammered, asking heaven and earth goblins, what is this message? Is this real? His eyes widened as he saw the monster approaching. And then he got the answer to the silly question above. But not long after, I realized this was the truth when the goblin charged. He instinctively swung his sword to defend. The sword struggled to block the goblin's attack. Just as he was about to fail, luckily a notification appeared. The battle will start automatically. Watch the hero's AI system perform advanced melee combat. He frowned in pain. Then his body automatically became agile and sharp, resolutely rising, neatly attacking the monster. Blood splattered on the ground. But I can't remember the feeling of killing another creature, he thought. After all, the previous battle wasn't overcome by himself, but thanks to the help for novices. So the screen showed the results. Past stage, 1-star Han leveled up. Sending reward. Please check your mailbox. He absent-mindedly walked forward. What is happening? Is this inside the game? Until the blinding light pierced his eyes. A magnificent village appeared. This familiar object is... Pick Me Up. While he was stunned, he heard an announcement. Master, before continuing to the next stage, try summoning an ally. Please tap the Summon tab in your menu. Special first-time service. Sending 500 gems needed for 1 premium summon. A drop of sweat rolled down his cheek. What the hell is going on? Despite him being lost here, the summoning process went smoothly. A female warrior appeared with a resounding announcement. Super rare master whatever received 5-star hero say. He guessed summon was that a summon, meaning I was summoned like that too. like a hero summoned for a pick-me-up player. Although reluctant, this was the most plausible guess, hard not to believe. Sei awakens. She asks, I have been summoned. Who are you? Simultaneously, her information appeared. Sei Radister, 5-star, level 1, EXP, 10, Occupation Knight, Strength, 1919, Intelligence 1010, Vitality, 1818, Agility, 2222, Skills, Battle, Logic, level 1, Intermediate Saber Sword Skill, level 1, Knight's Resolve, level 1. Han Seojin. He stammered in reply due to shock causing a small misunderstanding. She also introduced herself. I am Sei Radastery, a knight. Han Seojin. What a strange name. He immediately corrected, no, it's Han Seojin. Thus it can now be understood that he became a hero in the game he usually played and was controlled by another master. Therefore, all notifications were for that master. Like this notification, for example. Try creating a party with a hero drag and drop the hero into the formation tab and create a unique party master. Han 1 and Sei 5 are now a team. And so Master Whatever sent me and Sei into the dungeon again. In battle, unlike the terrible him, she charged onto the battlefield alone, eliminating enemies, slandering. Are you new? You don't look like much. He tried to explain. This is my first time. In short, unlike me who had never held a sword, 4-star hero, Sei eliminated 5 goblins in an instant. When finished, the summary notification appeared. Past stage. Sei 5 leveled up. Sending reward. Please check your mailbox. MVP. Sei 5. He panted heavily with exhaustion, even though he hadn't done anything significant in the last battle. Then thought, what an absolute difference in skill, because there's a 3-star difference between us. I have nothing more to say, but the problem is what happened next. As usual, the system would meticulously guide the player on the usual path. Master the heroes have bravely completed their battle. The final tutorial awaits you. The way to make heroes stronger is through synthesis. The door has opened. Please tap the synthesis tab in the menu. As a longtime player of the game, he was no stranger to this notification. Right then, only 3 words remained in his mind. I'm screwed. Seeing him standing still, the little fairy urged, Hey, you aren't, you going, master is waiting. Then tried to interact Isel. She looked at him astonished, admitting, That's right, I am Isel. No. Wait, how do you know my name? What are you? In response to that question, he thought, I definitely know her, because I play pick-me-up a lot. And of course, he didn't just think, because his life was hanging by a thread. Me, Han Seojin. Searching the list, she was then shocked to realize her huge mistake. Han Seojin. Impossible, isn't it, Han Islat? Why do you look different from the picture? Han Islat, born in Tonyea of the Him Peninsula, doesn't look like this. He irritably explained again, I am Han Seojin, born in Seoul, Gangseo-gu. Now send me back while I'm still talking nicely. She asked doubtfully, Impossible. You're from Earth, but isn't the answer already too clear? He wearily snapped back, or maybe from Mars, silent for a moment, as if processing the information. Then she screamed frantically, How the hell did this happen? I'm going crazy. Now you go in first. She tried to cover it up, but with life at stake like this, he couldn't easily agree. No way, if I go in, I'll die. She countered, You won't die, you'll just be synthesized. But he wasn't easily fooled. It's the same thing, isn't it? Anyway, just go in. Then she used force to push him inside. Sei sneered, seeing his clumsy appearance, so noisy. When everyone was present, the announcement rang out. Master begins synthesis. His body was gradually covered by blue energy. He couldn't help but curse, damn it, it's starting. To explain this series of actions by him, we need to note one point. Synthesis. Increasing strength by combining 2 heroes. One of the 2 heroes becomes a sacrifice to raise the stats of the remaining hero, or one person becomes material to increase the strength of the other. In this process, one of the 2 heroes will definitely be destroyed. The problem is, I'm a 1-star hero, and she's a 4-star knight. A normal player has no reason to save me and kill Sei. Am I about to die who's stupid enough to synthesize a 4-star hero into a 1-star hero? Sweat poured down his face. He seemed to want to give up to fate. And synthesis completed. But he didn't disappear. Instead, his strength increased slightly, so it's over. He was stunned. That means Sei 4 is disappearing into the light. He was full of questions. Why did you disappear? It doesn't make sense. You're a 4-star hero and I'm only 1-star. She calmly accepted her fate. I wasn't chosen. That's all there is to it. The rest is up to you. Han. Her whole body gradually turned into data points and disappeared into the void. He stood silently in the space with no one else but himself. I don't understand anything. He spun around in confusion, and that was the entire event leading to the current situation. Soon those who didn't make an effort perished. First was 1-star Reed, who returned to the goddess's embrace. His fighting spirit will be remembered forever. He fought while reminding her not to get distracted. Don't be careless. If you do, you'll die. She fought while kindly reminding, Old man over there, fight. A monster is chasing you, but they still only knew how to run. Now recalling everything, he could only say, Anyway, I survived. The way to synthesize heroes is drag and drop. It's designed for you to drag the sacrificed hero onto the remaining hero. Maybe that person slipped or played without thinking. I got lucky that Sei died because of a stupid mistake by the master. Not unexpected for a game crappy like this. Happy about this, but can't ignore the current battle. He shouted to her. What about the last 2? She immediately replied, I'll take one. Like the others, seeing she was still too soft-hearted, he immediately cut off her hesitation. Think later, and come here. Because of this moment, a goblin seized the opportunity to attack him. His arm was practically shattered. He burned with fighting spirit, turning back to face a goblin head-on while thinking, I don't know why I was summoned in to pick me up. But I know one thing, that I, Han Seojin, was summoned with the identity of one-star hero Han Islat. Throughout the tough battle, of course, there were loving words like, this bastard. Anyway, now it's the final moments of the battle and victory surely belongs to him. What he needed to worry about and think about was the damn thing that harmed him right before entering this world. The level 999 bugged monster, laughing loudly. It's that bastard. I'm sure it pulled me here. You messed with the wrong person. He used his hatred for it to torture the last goblin. The battle ended. Both he and the creature were too battered to look at. She worriedly asked Han, your arm. He calmly replied, when I return, I'll be fine, also considered reassuring her. Regarding the source event leading to his current plight, he learned players don't have much say in combat, because most battles are conducted automatically by the heroes. Even so, the game still boasts 100 million players globally. The reason is because they can observe this world like a god, as if someone's eye is watching the lowly beings here. He smirked, asking the one above fun. Although he said that about others, in reality, he wasn't much different from them. I'm also a player who likes pick-me-up, creating items, tactics, strategy, nurturing heroes, and finding hidden elements. Even if called a crappy game, don't give up. Ranked 5th worldwide, Loki, Master of Masters. Watch me survive until the end. He made a vow. Finally, the summary notification appeared, not much different from expected. Stage cleared. 1-star Jenna leveled up. Reward 2000 G iron ore, X2 copper, X2 stone, X1. MVP Han Hanislat. 11 players. 9 have returned to the goddess's embrace. The remaining 2 are him and Jenna. Passing a battle or climbing a tower floor doesn't mean they've successfully secured safe time for themselves. It's just the result of them being alive. And once started, they must continue climbing relentlessly until death or being abandoned, which he, of course, wouldn't let happen to himself. Having made a vow, he must live, meaning he must climb to the final floor to confront the kind of monster in the fantasy game that dragged him along for its pleasure. That's also his goal in life. I have to accept this. This is when I must stop acting like a child. I am inside Pick Me Up, was born and summoned as a 1-star hero. That is his initial identity. He must remember this to constantly strive and move forward, because there are 2 ways for a hero to die, dying in battle and synthesis. And I am a 1-star hero. Meaning with this identity, if he gives up or stands still, he will surely approach death's door. Anyway, he's already teetering on the brink of death now. He ran frantically while muttering in his head, a 1-star hero is indeed hopeless in Pick Me Up. We are just props. The most useless props. Stats are terrible, and growth potential is extremely low. At this level, I won't be able to escape the danger of being synthesized. Generally, his character information has reached a high threshold, but it's the high threshold of a 1-star, or in other words, just the toenail of a 2-star level, and nothing compared to higher levels. Specifically, Han Islat, 1-star, level 5, EXP 4450, occupation apprentice. Stats, strength, wisdom, vitality, and dexterity all reached 1515, skills, none yet. He frantically strived for a noble goal. I must become stronger, survive, take revenge, and return. If I don't get stronger, that's just wishful thinking. I don't know how it will continue from now on. If I don't adapt soon, I'll die. If I don't accept it, I'll be swallowed whole. This reminds me of my military service. Damn it. Countless hypotheses emerged, forcing him to exert his utmost effort. Because if not, perhaps sooner or later, his name would be called on the notification returning to the goddess's embrace. Besides, being strong only physically isn't enough. I also need to be strong mentally. I can't survive if I can't stay calm. In moments of fatigue, wanting to give up, he recalled the philosophies learned before. You can survive on your own when you're young. Don't forget that. Even without parents or anyone else beside you, you can still manage to survive. Try to remember that struggle. And so he reignited the flame of battle. He kept training day and night, never stopping, each time increasing his endurance and resilience. For example, now he's straining to do push-ups. Unsure how many he's done, only sweat dripping onto the ground indicates his high training intensity. Jenna was very curious. What are you doing? He froze for a moment, seeing her appear, then continued doing push-ups, trembling, replied, training to kill monsters. Why are you acting so rudely? I came all this way looking for you. Facing questions, guessing her intentions, she could only remain silent. Then went to get her bow, and accepted her fate after a restless night. I thought all night long about what I need to do from now on. First, we can't escape from here, right? Because my father is a hunter, I usually enjoy shooting arrows when I'm free. I won't hinder you. I think nothing will change if I just keep doing nothing but crying. And she drew her bow, aiming. The arrow flew straight into the scarecrow's forehead. She gathered all her courage and asked, You know how to survive here, right? The trainee didn't immediately answer her question. He asked instead, Was yesterday your first real combat experience? She replied, That's right. I just stayed home all day. He asked further, Then how do you use the bow? Observing her target and the previous arrow, she replied briefly, It's okay. perhaps downplaying it somewhat. He glanced at her info panel. Jenna Sire, 1 star. Level 2, EXP, 520, Occupation Apprentice. Strength, 1111. Wisdom, 1111. Vitality, 1111. Dexterity, 1111. Skill, Apprentice Archer. Did she just increase 4 stats after yesterday? He looked at her, surprised. Rarely taking the time to observe someone, silently evaluating. If her growth is low, but in return, she has a prerequisite skill despite being only 1 star. Although she was a bit clumsy because it was her first real combat, she could still shoot a goblin dead. She seems unwilling to die and also has a clear goal for what to do next. Truly, a rough diamond. Thinking that he agreed to cooperate with her. Okay, I'll help you. She held out her hand, excitedly saying, my father once said that if I want to survive, I must choose someone to follow. He's a good father, right? Evaluating this action of hers for a moment. Finally, he complied, shaking hands with her, simultaneously saying politely, please help me. Immediately, a notification appeared. 1 star Jenna has goodwill towards 1 star handoff friendship between the two initiated. Tip heroes befriending another person will receive additional rewards when in the same party. Looking at the notification that just appeared, he silently reflected. This message is a bit concerning. Then called out loudly in all directions, Isel, are you here? She appeared instantly, furious. What now? I'm very busy. He was slightly hesitant, teasingly said, you appear faster than a busy person. Despite his lawless talk, she cut him off immediately. Even if you ask me countless times, I won't answer. If you're curious, go climb the tower yourself. The answers are all inside the tower. But the question he wanted to ask wasn't related to these things. It seems talking so much this time was useless again. His question was, am I the only one who can see the status window above your head? She was silent for a moment. Her face showed a hint of worry. She was so startled she stammered, her mouth twisted up. What are you talking about? I don't know. What are you talking about? He immediately provided evidence, exposing her clumsy lie. I can clearly see it. Says 257. She hesitated. Speaking 3 parts, truth, 7 parts, falsehood. I guess you can see it, huh? Is it because your existence has been upgraded when they become an... I shouldn't say that. He listened grimly, thinking to himself. I was sure after seeing her reaction. I'm the only one who can see the game messages and the master's messages. Having received a satisfactory answer to this issue, he immediately switched to another urgent matter, avoiding her getting angry and turning her back on them. Isel, what should we do if the master leaves the game? She answered casually. It doesn't matter. Master, I can only pray they don't escape. He fell back into his personal train of thought. The accident happened when whatever the master tried to combine me, and say wasn't just a normal accident. A 4-star ended up being combined with a 1-star. The oddity of a 4-star hero appearing in a free summon is 1%. Their 1 in 100 luck failed just because of one mistake. Pick Me Up is linked to the phone so you can't restart it either. After starting the game, it's been a whole week since they logged in. If that's the case, could it be? He voiced his speculation. Is time here different from Earth? She got angry, scolding. Don't ask anymore, I won't answer you. If he said a few more words, he'd be questioned by someone who used to be a master skilled in tactics until he had nothing left. But seeing her excessive reaction was enough for his answer. So it means time flows differently here than on Earth, right? Thanks for letting me know that trick. Give me more tips next time, okay? She tore at her hair, screaming, you 1-star trash bastard. After the break, he had gathered some useful information. The fairy can't touch me. She can only intervene in self-defense, or when a hero refuses the master's command. I have to learn the rules here one by one. Otherwise, I'll die. That's the only rule in this world. Waiting for them to finish talking, Jenna then politely asked, what are you two talking about? She asked one thing, he answered another. Although not directly related, it was enough information for someone to preserve their life. Finally, he agreed to tell her information about this world. Whether to believe it or not was her choice. We will have to raid up to the 100th floor of the tower. Here's an entity called Master who can give orders through ISIL. We have to obey them and proceed through missions. When we reach the 100th floor, we can escape from here. She hesitantly asked again, does that mean we have to keep fighting monsters? He replied immediately. That's why we have to train. We need to become even stronger. She timidly asked, will just the 2 of us be okay? After all, the manpower is too scarce while the 1st floor already exhausted them, let alone the remaining 99 tower floors. He explained while providing operational information for her to know masters can use money to summon someone like us. They are planning to summon many people. Although it's a bit cruel, sooner or later, she would have to face it. The face of the game. Our choices from here will decide our fate. But in the end, our fate still relies on the master's decision. Leaves fell silently while they were alone in the vast place until the master awoke. There's a silver lining in the misfortune. After training all day, I realized another amusing rule here. Essential items and food will regenerate the next day, and if I think about what I want, it will appear in the wardrobe the next day. And of course, things like guns won't appear. And there will be other rules when gaining results from training things I didn't understand, when playing Pick Me Up are now clear. Sometimes heroes of the same rank have different combat abilities. All have one thing in common. They are too lazy to train. Training doesn't increase stats or level, but enhances skills and restores your abilities. Never expected a day to explore the game deeply. He had to personally experience the feeling of becoming a hero. I didn't think about it from the beginning. Looking back now, I think they aren't all AI. That's the second rule. Returning to the game issue, if a master has skills, they will classify the main heroes into 3 types. First, mind. Masters won't even glance at heroes who panic easily. Second, skill. A high-rank summoned hero has many skills, while most low-rank heroes have hidden potential that the master must find. Third, physique. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, and with that, 3 days have passed since I started training. He was troubled by his overlapping thoughts, also out of options. To survive. Besides the elements here, he also needs to equip himself with necessary information about the game and how it operates, then maybe he can quickly achieve the goal. Now finally, after many silent days, the announcement finally returned. Welcome to Pick Me Up. That means the master has connected to the game. He looked again at the achievements on his personal panel. Han Islat 1-star level 5, EXP 4450, Occupation Apprentice, Strength 1515, Wisdom 1515, Vitality 1515, Dexterity 1515, Skill, Apprentice Swordsman, Level 1 Apprentice Shield, Usage Technique Level 1. He silently celebrated. I got 2 skills through training. I tried my best. So he informed Jenna to come along. Get ready, Master is here. She hurried over. Have they arrived? He said annoyed. What do you mean, it's been 3 days? The notification appeared. Master, I will start summoning. I am searching for appearing heroes. He repeated the announcement with a brief explanation. They just live by the principle of go wherever it takes you. Master is summoning a new hero. A party will consist of 5 people, so he will spin 3 times. Sounds like clicks are also displayed. Immediately after were the notifications. Master Whatever received 1-star hero Aaron. Master Whatever received 1-star hero Toby. Master Whatever received 1-star hero Jensen. Accompanied by the newly appeared characters and their questions like Day 1 novices. Where am I? That's right. No time for introductions. She only had time to announce, then follow him away. Hey everyone, we have to prepare for battle. We will teach everyone after we safely pass it. He skeptical guy asked. Prepare for battle. Who are you people? Appearing at the same time, space-time rift. Open. Similar to last time, new notifications arrived. 1-star Aaron has joined Team 1. Toby 1-star has joined Team 1. Jensen 1-star has joined Team 1. But they already had experience, unlike the newcomers who just stood there like statues. He ordered Jenna choose a weapon quickly, before it's too late. Yes. Immediately after the notification appeared, guiding the master. Tip. Heroes without equipment will join the battle with an iron sword F. If you choose equipment from the armory, they will be equipped. Don't forget, you can also assign weapons yourself. He didn't care much, because in his thoughts, because everyone died last time with weapons on them, I don't have any weapons left to add, Isel said, after opening the rift. All of you come here. Of course, who would listen to orders from this tiny mysterious creature? Who are you? Where are you from? Send us back quickly. Jenna tried to restrain the chaotic crowd. Stop it. It will be worse if we fight with her. Then got caught in the guy's anger. Are you people together? Did you bring us here? She explained. Not me. I was pulled here too. He wasn't as compassionate as she was. Immediately said, you're just doing extra work. They'll realize it themselves in a few minutes. So they continued to criticize. My wife is waiting for me. Send me back quickly. I'm a poor farmer. I don't have money. You got the wrong person. She snapped. Aren't you going in? Jenna looked back worriedly. Will they die? He answered. As long as they don't touch Isel, it's fine. As he said, and they only got scratched. Nothing significant. Lying around yelling on the ground. The only one unharmed among the 3 fearfully held his head. I'm sorry, she snapped angrily. Listen up, the others too. And they went. The rift slowly closed. Have fun were her familiar wishes whenever a battle began. The notification appeared as soon as they were teleported. Floor 2, mission type, subjugation. Target sweep. Clear all enemies. The newcomers were still bewildered. Where is this? But he had already arranged things. Jenna, are you ready? Yes. As the rank increased, the enemies were a combination of goblins and prairie wolves. Obviously, the notifications couldn't be missed. 1-star Aaron is panicked, all stats reduced by 30%. 1-star Toby is panicked, all stats reduced by 30%. 1-star Jensen is panicked, all stats reduced by 30%. When the enemies appeared, they exclaimed, "What is that?" Strangely, he glanced at his teammate beside him. She was trembling and the notification appeared. 1-star. Jenna is panicked, all stats reduced by 30%. Ha, she's scared too. He was both surprised and found it normal. So he found an excuse to lift her spirits. Did you eat something bad? Already panicked, then scared by him like this. She jumped. Don't scare me like that. He assigned take care of the 2 goblins. I'll handle the wolves. Fortunately, the above method worked. 1-star Jenna was no longer panicked. He thought happily, does that mean she was only panicked for a bit? What a relief. Then glanced at those standing frozen behind. Compared to her, none of the newcomers intended to help as he thought. Here they come. Finally, the enemy arrived. He raised his shield. The wolf bared its huge fangs. He burned with fighting spirit against it, quickly swinging his sword to attack. Thought he'd finished it cleanly, but suddenly realized, still alive. Is it because of this trash weapon? He spun the sword in his hand forcefully. Luckily. Still, killed one. His eyes flashed with strong light. He clenched his teeth, thinking fervently. Floor 2 is indeed different. The monsters here are much stronger than the ones easily defeated on Floor 1. However, one thing to note is unlike the naive Floor 1 where he wasn't proficient in attacking, he now had time to train and adapt well to small battles like this. So although handling it was a bit strained, it was okay. Not dead yet, is it my weapon? Anyway, it collapsed too. His eyes filled with killing intent, rampaging horizontally and vertically. After defeating this persistent prairie wolf, he quickly glanced back, wary of its surprise attack. Therefore easily used the shield to block the wolf's pounce, avoiding the mistake from Floor 1. However, still quite struggled. After all, the strength difference between human and wolf was too great. Using all strength, he counterattacked and charged into battle with it, wiping out the prairie wolves. Blood scattered everywhere, indicating the victory of the winner. What about the goblins? He panicked, turning his head to find her. The ground was littered with goblin corpses pierced by numerous arrows. He was amazed. You've become a real archer. How many did you shoot? Her whole body was drenched in sweat and she still wanted to shoot more. He had to say, stop it. It's dead. Yes. Only then did she know everything was over. The second stage clear notification appeared. Han de Jenna, leveled up, MVP, Han.reward, 5000 G, iron ore, CX1, leather, CX3, a blue light beam appeared. They were sent back to the starting place. The 2 leaders went first, while the other 3 straggled behind. The announcement echoed in his ear. Congratulations on passing Floor 2. Advancing to Floor 3. The further she went, the more wrong it felt. Not like the first time at all. Looking at the unfamiliar place before her, she exclaimed in horror, "What is this?" Even with such a loud scream exceeding normal volume, he maintained a steel-like composure, answering, "Just like when we went to Floor 2. Currently, it's advancing to Floor 3. As a former reputable master, he was no longer too unfamiliar with this. Of course, whatever should be said, he had said. As for the rest, keep it to yourself. If the master is reckless, they will directly push us to Floor 3, but if that happens... Now what's next? Will it be on Floor 3? While he was confused, Master has logged out. He breathed a sigh of relief. Izel stretched, as if just waking from a nap. Wow, finally got out. He wearily reminded her of her proper identity. We are the ones who have to fight. How can you be tired? He glanced at the door behind, silently speculating. 1 floor per day. It seems time here is 1 to 3 slower than outside the waiting room. They will probably log in again after 3 days. Then spent time looking at his info panel to see if there were any improvements. Han Islot level 6, EXP 13 to 50. Occupation newbie, strength 17 to 17, willpower 14 14, vitality 16 to 16, dexterity 16 to 16, skill, basic swordsmanship, level 1, basic shield technique. Level 1, he pondered. My willpower decreased by 1, but strength increased by 2. Stat bonus points still have 4 left, but the level increase is quite good, proving my physique is improving. Master isn't pushing the progress anymore either. If I keep getting stuck in the recovery state on Floor 1, it will endanger everyone. While he was busy with his tangled thoughts, the lucky ones who survived Floor 2 just now were cluelessly causing trouble with Isel. They asked, "Why do I have to fight? What the hell is this place? What about those monsters?" The commotion nearby was so loud that he was also disturbed. Couldn't ignore it. He silently criticized. 1 star means normal people, people who live far from the battlefield. They were noisy. How can I fight monsters when I've never even held a weapon before? She impatiently explained again. I already said. We need to fight to survive. You can think whatever you want. They're like market vendors, not aware of their life or death situation. You think we know how to fight. Looking at them, I think I understand why 1 stars are called trash. He remembered the first one who died. 2 star, Manga. He said he used to be a mercenary. The more combat experience the summoned person has, the higher the star level, he guessed. Then refuted himself. High-level mercenaries wouldn't panic over just a little thing. But if you throw a 1-star mercenary into the middle of a battle, 100%, they will panic. But it's not like those 3 stars and above. They will jump straight into battle. Are they summoned with combat knowledge? Do they know their goal and why they must fight? I think Sei knows, based on her attitude. I'm sure. He shifted his gaze to Jenna. Like him, she disliked these stupid people who only knew how to shout. The difference is, she didn't keep it inside but said it outright. Hey, this bunch of people, why don't you help at all, Han? He asked back, why should I bother with those useless people? She reasoned, shouldn't we advise them and make them teammates? Something is better than nothing. He spoke nonchalantly. Understand it if you want, don't if you don't. They will disappear soon enough, then you'll see. The useless ones will be eliminated to make way for those who need it. As a master, no one wouldn't think so. More accurately, not because they are killed. Not because they are killed, they will disappear. He said coldly, you and I will continue fighting in the next battle. Ignore them. Suddenly, one of them approached. Hey, I want to ask you guys something. He glanced at the guy, then arrogantly replied, go ask someone else. So annoying. The hot-blooded guy grabbed his collar. What did you say? They dared to touch, he dared to retaliate. He gave the guy a brutal beating, The guy's face briefly distorted. He groaned in pain. He coldly declared, "You bastards loaf around while we have to fight out there." The guy could only stammer, "No, I—" Then he turned his back and left, saying to her, "See, I did as you wanted. Happy now, hey hey." She forced a smile. Everything just passed like that. The next day, training continued. After the basic exercises, we entered weapon training. As mentioned, I used a wooden sword, and Jenna practiced archery, so soon enough, his skills increased. Hands basic swordsmanship level 2, Hands basic shield technique level 2. The other 3 didn't come to the training ground. They wandered around trying to find an escape, but of course still couldn't find one. He soon ignored them, and she also gave up wanting to be close to them, putting aside all worries. Her archery skill improved day by day, able to hit bullseye consistently with multiple consecutive shots, and he also trained day and night relentlessly like a demon, practicing defense in all directions. Today, unsure if due to carelessness or training ground issues, one of her arrows accidentally lodged in his thigh. While he got hit, she ran over worriedly. "Are you okay?" He pulled out the arrow while saying, "I told you not to worry. Don't think the normal rules where you live are the same here. Wounds heal very quickly. In misfortune, there's luck." Thanks to these incidents, he gained another new skill. Han received the pain-resistant skill. "Continue training," he ordered, then trained frantically again, trying to make the most of the time available. He originally thought, "I won't stop. Pain is good too. It's proof that I'm alive." So on the training ground, besides the clanging sound of arrows hitting shields, were the words, "Again, yes again. Stop, one more." So many that no spot on the shield was intact. Everywhere saw the appearance of an arrow, and the miracle arrived, skill awakening. Hero, Han's basic swordsmanship and basic shield technique have merged into a new skill. Han received basic sword and shield technique. The rest time ended when that announcement rang out, "Welcome to pick me up." Isel urged, "Quickly go to the square when the master appears." "Do you want a beating?" Jenna warmed up her joints, getting excited. "Perfect, just training makes my whole body itch," he asked blankly. "Why do I feel like you learn even faster than me?" "I'm quite good at these things," she replied smugly, in return. He was about to speak when the others arrived and continued making noise. "Let us go. I'm tired of eating potatoes. You intend to make us fight again, right?" "I don't want to." "No way." She had lost all patience with them long ago. But due to rule constraints, she could only beat them half dead, not directly kill them. "I'm begging now, don't make me force you to write apology letters now." "Come here, don't make me come there and get you. Today you die with me." Then she started punching and kicking. They resignedly endured the beating as they couldn't resist. "Spare me." When she calmed down, the whole group had distorted faces. She called, "Okay, drag your asses out here." After the beating, everyone became much more obedient, meekly crawling over. "Yes, ma'am." Of course, today's mission belonged to Floor 3, mission type subjugate target, eliminate all enemies. He commented briefly while comforting her to avoid her mental breakdown like last time. "Their weapons and tactics have improved. It's okay, just fight as we practiced. Let's go." And he charged into attack. As I said, Floor 3 is nothing. Therefore, the stage clear notification appeared again. Jenna leveled up. MVP Jenna, reward 7000 G. Iron ore CX1, from CX1. They chatted briefly after the battle. "I think I'm used to these things now." This time was a bit boring. She glanced at those standing stunned behind. It seems they still refuse to fight. He replied indifferently, "Ignore them. Anyway, I don't intend to share EXP with those who don't fight. If they don't participate in the battle, they don't receive EXP. Suddenly, the guide notification rang out. Tip: when dealing with disobedient heroes, try spinning the lucky wheel. They will behave better. Floor 1. Challenge again. Yes. No. With this choice, Master as always chose the option according to the guide. He reported back to her. "It seems Master is preparing to spin the lucky wheel." She asked worriedly. "It's not over yet, right?" Immediately after they appeared in the desolate land of the first day or Floor 1. Mission type, subjugate target. Eliminate all enemies. He said, "They brought us to the safe zone of Floor 1. She commented fairly. "It seems Master isn't that heartless. Exactly like the ones we saw on Floor 1. And so stage cleared. MVP Jenna reward 1000 G. She was happy as if strolling, not showing any sign of a tough battle. However, Floor 1, challenge, again, yes, no. The choice was still, yes. He thought to himself, Master won't let me rest easily if I handle these quickly. Of course they could still easily pass. Stage cleared, MVP, Han reward 1000 G. And Floor 3, mission type subjugate target, eliminate all enemies. Pixie level 4x2. Stage cleared, MVP, Han reward 1000 G. After 4 consecutive battles, she was exhausted. Panting asked, "I'm tired. Master isn't sending us anymore, right?" Who knows? He was also tired, hard to stand firm. Returning to the main lobby, she complained angrily, "I'm going crazy. How much longer do I have to take care of those bastards?" He comforted, "Don't worry, today it will end." His half-veiled words made her even more curious. "Will end." "What do you mean?" "They don't look like they'll change at all," he answered. "I don't think the Master has the time to bother maintaining that useless bunch." And just like that, currently they are in the new synthesis area. Master, begin synthesis. The notification just appeared, the door started to open. "Where is this place?" They were bewildered, unaware of the impending danger. The guide notification rang out. Drag and drop. The heroes you sacrifice onto the hero you want to synthesize. The sacrificed heroes will dissipate, he thought smugly. Farewell. You bunch who don't know how to seize the given opportunity. Speaking of the space here, it includes the following locations: Space-Time Rift, Synthesis Room. Armory. Overhead Base Rest Area Training Ground Alchemy Facility Landing Site, Summoning Room, in front of the spacious house with the pure white door open. He pondered deeply. Opportunity. I see many more opportunities. The fighting characters, including him, were clearly displayed on a small phone-like screen. He thought deeply. Although minor things don't appear on the screen, the master isn't unaware of everything. That person must know who fights on the front lines, who is proactive, and who is lazy. The system voice announced, adding Han to favorites list, adding Jenna to favorites list. Isel pointed towards the synthesis room and shouted loudly, Jenna, Jensen, go into the synthesis room, hurry up. Jenna turned to look at him, sweating. Hey, Han. Islat glanced at her comfortingly. Go on. Nothing will happen to you. The man behind him, pale with worry, grabbed him and asked, what will happen if we go in there? He glanced at him and answered calmly, probably be evaluated based on what you've done. Suddenly, the worried man yelled loudly, I didn't do anything, I was just suddenly pulled here. He didn't care, just coldly urged, get in there. Isel also crossed her arms, annoyed. This is the first time we've thought the same thing. Seeing the man so scared, sweat poured like rain, he annoyedly posed a series of questions and criticisms. So what do you want me to do? Help you? If you had at least pretended to fight, things would be different. Isel was also very annoyed and complained. I'm tired of you. Just get in there already. The synthesis building door closed tightly. The system panel appeared displaying, do you want to synthesize? Yes, no. The man inside still wouldn't give up, banging the door and screaming loudly. It's not fair, let me, ignoring Jenna, who stood calmly silent behind. A blue light enveloped the man, making him widen his eyes in fear and scream ceaselessly. The system announcement echoed, synthesis complete. Jenna leveled up, received Eagle Eye skill. Jenna stepped out of the synthesis tower, not understanding what just happened, scratching her head, asking, what just happened? That guy turned into light and disappeared. Walking close to her, he stopped, his voice soft but full of danger. In this place, the useless die to be sacrificed for others. Now it's my turn. Looking at the two men, one with blue hair and one with black, facing him, their faces black as pot bottoms, eyes wide with fear, he was calmly curious. Wonder who it will be among the two. Isel pointed at the two men and shouted loudly, next is Han and Toby. Toby, pale face, trembled with fear. Me. He calmly stepped into the synthesis tower while the other worriedly accepted his fate and followed. Loud laughter rang out. Toby, seemingly mad, face dark, laughed loudly, asking, ha 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 ha, you're letting me go home, right? Right, I'll get to go home. Go home. He closed his eyes, not shattering the fool's delusion, and said, that's right, just think like that. From inside the synthesis tower, a blood-curdling scream rang out. The system also announced, synthesis complete. Toby turned into light and disappeared. He gently stepped out of the synthesis tower as the system voice echoed the announcement. Han leveled up, received composure skill. Walking past the frightened Eren, he coldly said, you're lucky. Jenna looked back at the synthesis tower, breaking out in a cold sweat. So if the master thinks you're useless, you'll disappear in there. He glanced at her coldly. Why are you so sad? You're the one who didn't want to be left behind. She froze, sweating, trembling, asking, if I become useless, will this happen to me someday too? He looked back at her trembling form and explained, the higher we go, the stronger the monsters and players we face will be. We will either die at the hands of the enemy, or die sacrificially like that. Her face darkened reluctantly. Turning away, she replied, is that so? It seems you know everything? He glanced at her expressionlessly, advising, if you want to live, do exactly as your father said. Seeing her sweating and glancing at him, he continued, stay close to strong people. Through the second day, scarecrows were set up in the yard. Jenna bowed, 90 degrees, shouting loudly, begging, please take care of me. Seeing her react so strongly, he curiously asked, did something happen to you? She quickly looked up at him, her eyes full of determination, saying, you said to stay close to strong people, so I will befriend strong people. Please take care of me. He glanced at the sweating girl, advising, unbelievable. If you work hard, you won't die, so don't worry too much about it. From afar, someone approached the two, loudly begging as well, please take care of me too. It was Eren, he worriedly said, his eyes full of pleading. Sorry, I was very stupid. I just caused trouble all day. Whatever happened, leaving two people to fight alone, was truly the most cowardly act. But from now on, things will be different. He looked at Eren, coldly asking, how can I trust you? The young man, like Jenna, bowed 90 degrees, saying, if you want tell me to kneel, I'll agree too. So, please. Jenna looked at him, smiled, turned to Han. It seems he's finally determined. He picked up a staff and asked, hey, have you ever fought monsters before? Before coming here, I had never fought any monster either. He threw the staff towards the guy, making him freeze worriedly. But you're so good, he replied without paying attention. The difference is in determination. Determination to win or just survive. Looking at the spear already in the guy's hand, he said, here, take the spear. I'm not an expert, but I heard it's the easiest weapon to use. Try using it. Do you know the basic theory of melee combat, mid-range combat, and long-range combat? Jenna cheered from the side. Ah, melee uses swords, mid-range uses spears, and long-range uses bows and arrows. That's the basic theory, right? He held out the weapon in his hand and said, because our team only has 3 people doing this is the most effective, and the combat stance he urged. What are you doing? Prepare for battle. Aaron sweated, astonished eyes wide, asking, fight. Aren't you teaching me? He shamelessly grabbed a weapon charged to attack, saying, I've never used a spear before, so what can I teach you? I learned how to fight myself, so you learn by yourself too. Quick as lightning, he attacked while reminding, be grateful you have an opponent to fight with. I only have scarecrows as opponents. His consecutive attacks made the guy only able to block without counterattacking at all. A blow flashed past his face, making him worry so much he bared his teeth and widened his eyes. Finally gaining some courage, he held the staff, squeezed his eyes shut, shouted loudly, raising the spear. He didn't hesitate to hit him in the stomach with the staff, asking, fighting. Yet you close your eyes. Seeing him hit just once in the stomach, already leaning on his spear, clutching his stomach, vomiting violently, Han scolded, it didn't even threaten your life, and this is all you can do. If I were a monster, you'd be dead already. Jenna watched from behind, unable to bear it, asking, it's his first time and you did that. Isn't that too strict? He didn't even look back, just coldly replied, I don't want to have to take care of others. If you people can't keep up, I'll just ignore you. He looked at the trembling Aaron opposite, asking, do you have a family? He trembled, replying, my younger sister is waiting. He looked at him, writhing, saying, at least you still have someone, I have no one. He pointed the staff at his neck. Coldly asking, so what will happen if you can't return here? The staff pointed at his throat. Han continued advising, dying at the hands of monsters will be terribly painful, even more painful than being synthesized. If you don't want to continue, then give up. Aaron clenched his teeth. He still had the spirit to look at him with provocative eyes. Seeing Aaron's contorted face full of resentment, he was satisfied. The spirit in your eyes is better now. The system notification asked, you have chosen the forge. It's the level 1 weapon appendix. Do you want to build it? Costs 500 gems to build. The village is passed through by a blue light beam. He leisurely strolled the streets looking at the houses being upgraded. I could walk around. And now the forge is open too. He coldly called, Wisel. If you're here, come out. Wisel appeared annoyed, scolding. Who do you think you are calling me whenever you want? He didn't even glance at her, complaining. I'm tired of that attitude. Try to fix it. Seeing her fuming, black kicking stones, he just glanced and asked, are you the one who sent the tips to Wadova, right? Can you go online? If you can interfere with the system, surely you can use it, right? Izel crossed her arms, arrogantly replying, that's right. I can. My hobby is browsing the web, he continued softly. So the tips you sent are being used as a basis. After summoning items 10 times, unlock level 1 of the training facility. Then unlock the forge. Izel asked fearfully, how do you know? He leaned against the wall, arms crossed, answering. That post is very popular on the pick-me-up page. Don't you know the post Loki made? She asked, astonished. You know Loki, he casually replied. Of course. I'm also a user of pick-me-up. She then very cheerfully added to his knowledge. Surely you only stay on the lower floors. Lord Loki is the master of masters, the war god of pick-me-up. If there were 7 stars, he would already be at the top of the world. He lowered his head, unable to see her expression clearly, asking, why do you like Loki? She confidently pointed at him and answered, because he's the one who makes the impossible possible, he scoffed. Ah, makes the impossible possible. She looked at him mockingly, asking, as a pick-me-up player you don't even know that. He still stood there, silently ignoring the hyperactive girl, happily shouting, Lord Loki is, finally he coldly said, sorry to tell you this news. Making her freeze instantly, the girl then annoyedly turned back, asking, what? He opened his blue eyes smugly, saying, I am Loki. Scene changes to him, leaning against the wall, arms crossed leisurely, listening to Isel complaining nearby. What are you talking about? Who are you trying to fool? He calmly interrupted her. Account number 466-31913. Han Islat closed his eyes calmly. To avoid the risk of being hacked, the pick-me-up account number. Only the account owner and the server know. Check it yourself. If you still don't believe. Do I need to read out the vault account too? Isel annoyedly complained while checking the information. No way you're Loki. It's absurd. Is this true? She changed her tone to serious, saying, then excitedly shouted happily, give me your autograph right away. Idiot, amazing. With this, I'll be a VIP member of Ragna Loki. He held the signed paper, confused, watching her float level with his head, then asked, what is Ragna Loki? She excitedly answered, Loki's fan forum, the absolute peak. To become a VIP, you need Loki's autograph. He was calm, expressionless. There's such a thing, just heard of it. The girl beside him trembled, confused, shrinking back, stammering. Wait. Then what about the things we said to Loki all this time? Are you serious? Are you serious? Hand holding the pen, he signed his autograph on the paper while saying, I currently only have 1 star, so who cares about those things? Isel panicked and screamed. Wait, what will happen to Niflheim without you? He still calmly replied, I wonder too. The image of a giant tower floating in the sky is, Niflheim A, is the name of the waiting room system in my account. There are 13 floors in total. All are waiting rooms, with a capacity of up to 20,000 people. All infrastructure there is top quality, suitable for levels 18 to 22. She panicked, grabbing her head, her two braids standing straight up. Even so, what does it mean when the real master, is here? Then what will happen to those 20,000 people? Hanislat, face unchanged, leaned against the wall, saying to her, "If you're so worried, why not let me go back?" Hearing that, she drooped, pleading with him. "I can't do it." He acted like it was obvious, calmly saying, "I know. I even know you're just an intermediary manager doing odd jobs." An image of a mysterious person appeared as he spoke. "But the owner of this waiting room, whatever, is from Earth, right? And the summoned heroes aren't artificial intelligence either." She calmed down. "That's right. This linked world is a bit different, but all of them are human. Everything is like an entertainment game. He and the others are character pieces," he continued. "Master whatever doesn't know we are all human. He's just a real player enjoying pick-me-up. All heroes must face all dangers just to satisfy their entertainment." His serious gaze swept over her. "More importantly, can I return if I climb to the 100th floor, Isel?" Sadly, "Well, I don't know either." "Don't know." He continued, asking her, his gaze becoming sharper. "Next question. Who brought me here?" Isel awkwardly replied. "I can't answer that." Feeling guilty, she said. "Sorry," he calmly continued. "It's okay, but as you said, I'll find out myself while climbing the tower." Then he continued asking Isel questions. "Besides, within the master's authority, what can you access?" She mechanically answered his question. "Now I can give guidance, open and close these facilities, and support some other activities too." A misselated area appeared surrounded by high stone walls. Are all masters' waiting rooms the same? Each room is slightly different, but overall they are the same. In his head, thinking self-resolving, now posing a question: do 100 million worlds truly coexist? He thought about how all heroes are summoned from outside, contained in many worlds. Summoning Mobius system. The thing that created countless heroes by combining thousands of templates is actually just deceit, quantum artificial intelligence. The heroes, the things thought to be artificial intelligence, are actually human. The dungeons. The system once mentioned it created countless contents, containing hundreds of millions of worlds. Thoughts gradually clearing, he stood still thinking. If each world in the game is actually a real world, does that mean my unconscious choices might kill a hero? He opened his mouth, calling the name Sil. She nodded eagerly. Happy, he agreed to climb the tower. "If you want to climb the tower, remember my words carefully. Then you can climb the tower successfully." Scene changes to a training ground full of combat dummies. A beautiful girl with long red hair, a few freckles on her face, is training intensely. Jenna is a genius. Her growth speed can't be just 1 star, even though she's never used a dagger. She can get used to it very quickly. On the other side, the person training with Jenna with light blonde hair is struggling to receive blows. On the other hand, Aaron is quite slow. At this rate, sooner or later he will die. Jenna walked towards him, pointing at the guy, saying, "I went easy on Aaron, but it seems still a bit too much for him." He softly said, "Less arrogance, and follow me." Jenna wondered, asking again, "What's wrong? Aren't you going to teach your #1 subordinate today?" Suddenly, Isel snapped, shouting at Jenna, "Who do you think you are, always following Han? I am the #1 subordinate, get lost." Jenna competitively asked him, "I am your #1 subordinate, right?" Isel cursed increasingly fiercely. "You old fox bitch, do you know who this is? Master of..." Before finishing, she was pushed aside by him, saying, "Have you run out of things to do?" Caught tightly in his hand, she still yelled, "Anyway, Loki's #1 subordinate. Han is me. Remember that carefully." He helplessly regretted saying, "Shouldn't have said I was Loki." Jenna blankly looked at her, asking, "What's wrong with her?" He helplessly looked at her, then said to Jenna, "Don't mind her, she's just a bit stupid." This young man's name is Han Islat, a famous top-ranked pick-me-up player in the world. But just because he cursed out the damn hard game, he was directly pulled into the game world. Originally, this pick-me-up game was known as the world's most difficult game, consisting of a 100-floor challenge tower. Here, players can only gacha characters ranging from 1 star to 7 stars. The gacha rate for a character above 4 stars is almost 0.